Raymond Donald Hong has been steadily covering the gay marriage issue and brings us late-breaking news of the California Appeals Court overturning Judge Richard Kramer's lower court decision of April 2005 and therefore upholding the state's ban on gay marriage.
Kate Kendall of the National Center for Lesbian Rights and Tom Lynch of the San Francisco LGBT Center explained this decision that leaves gay activists disappointed.
We had a very strong ruling from the trial court in this case, striking down the prohibition on lesbian and gay couples marrying under the California Constitution and finding that it was a blatant violation of equal protection under the law and of the fundamental right to marry to not permit lesbian and gay couples to marry. That decision, very well thought out, very well reasoned, was essentially ignored by the Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal took the position, really the bottom line of their ruling was gay people have never been permitted to marry before, and we're not going to permit them to marry today. Essentially taking the view that it's not their job, it's not their responsibility to protect lesbian and gay couples. It's really not even their responsibility to assure that constitutional protections are extended to all people regardless of historically whether they've been marginalized or not. So extending what the court's reasoning engaged in today to past civil rights struggles, if every court had taken this approach, there are whole segments of society that would still not have the right to vote, that would still not have the right to self-determination, that wouldn't be able to marry among races. Courts should be protecting the rights and liberties of individuals in this country and certainly in the state of California, and the Court of Appeal failed in that today.
This in the Court of Appeals had a 2-1 vote today, basically overturning the lower court ruling and essentially leaving us in the same place that we are, which is not having the right to marry people of the same sex. It's based essentially on the fact that it's being punted back to the legislature. Last year, the governor said this is a decision for the courts. So they're just punting it back and forth. It's a bump in the road, but I think it's time that we start working at repaving the road and making sure that we're electing and supporting candidates and media outlets and people that will work to be honest and to fight for equality and to value the rights of all human beings.
It's a moment of not great despair, but certainly not where we wanted to be and not what we wanted the court to do. But the lesson of every civil rights struggle is that it's a struggle because there are days like this. And what we have to resolve to do is get up tomorrow, fight more, bring more of ourselves to this struggle, commit greater resources, be engaged in the dialogue, and make sure that when the California Supreme Court ultimately issues a ruling, it will be one that embraces full equality and justice for our relationships.
You can read the California Appeals Court decision on the NCLR website at nclrrights.org.